Hello everyone and welcome to Snowfell Temple. I'm Evangeline and I will be your host in Oracle this evening, morning, day, night, or afternoon, whatever time it is that you're watching this. I am going to jump right into the reading. I'm going to do a general reading today, so nothing specific that we're looking to gain some guidance on. I'm just going to do a general tarot reading for you, the viewer. So whatever it is that you need to know at this moment. Yeah. Please take what resonates with you and, leave the rest. As I'm sure you heard many times from many other tarot card readers. I am going to try to be a little predictive for this reading. Usually I am more along the lines of just kind of like seeing what's going on, and then we kind of talk through the options. But I'm going to see if we can get some clarity on what's going to happen in a more definite sense. I mean, everything's up for like free will, so if you do not like the reading, it does not mean that you are, bound to it. But I would say the more you fight it, I mean, it really, like, if this is, you'll know if it's your reading. If it feels like it's your reading and then you hear something that you don't like, the more that you fight it, the more that thing that you don't like is going to happen. I think. But feel free to gain clarity from other forms of confirmation. Definitely use your discernment, use your intuition, look for your alignments, your synchronicities, things like that. Okay, so I think I have everything laid out for what we need here. I'll show you the bottom of the deck as to maybe what this is mostly pertaining to, and it's going to be the Ace of Pentacles. So this is going to be a little bit of a financial reading. Coins or pentacles have to do a lot with conscientiousness in my readings, so this might be how you organize your life or how you structure things. It's honestly how you process information, how you organize and utilize that information. Not how much information that you have access to, but what do you do with the information that you do have access to. You're going to be represented by the Two of Pentacles. So you might be doing a lot of financial juggling right now. You might be in the midst of organizing things. This could be like a move. This is a lot of getting your affairs in order. This could be a new job, a new form of bill, like a new car, a new loan, anything like that. Yeah. On either side, it seems like you're juggling a few things. So I'm going to do it 2 cards at a time. On one side, you have the Hierophant. On the other side, you have the Hangman. So you might be juggling like traditional ways to handle whatever it is that you're handling, how to I'm going to just say organize, some traditional ways of organizing, and then some new ways to organize. So you could be like, you could be one of those people who watch people like clean their houses on YouTube. That's always fun. I don't do it too often, but the idea of it sounds really nice. Maybe I should start doing that. I'm also gonna try to stop saying so much. I said that a lot. I'm kind of embarrassed because I did like 70 videos or whatever, and I keep on saying so I'm going to try not to say that. If you catch me, please please give me a tap. So we have so yeah, so you're juggling between like some new ways to do things and some old like traditional ways to do things. Oops, I did it. um, oh my gosh. So, I'm gonna try to change it to so. So, I think that's 3 times. My goodness. So, it looks like you're also juggling between like some decisions, some hard decisions, with the Two of Swords and then the Eight of Pentacles. So this could be like you could have a lot of responsibility on you right now, and you could feel like you kind of want to. It's like making these hard decisions or just dropping it. It's like maybe having hard conversations or trying to explain something. 4 times. You might be trying to explain something, or you might be tempted to explain something and then also tempted to just handle it on your own. 5. That's 5. You might be tempted to just to get something done, to make hard decisions to get something done, or just abandon it. And then the last, well, I'm sure there's other things that you're juggling, but the last thing that we're going to talk about when it comes to what you're juggling here is going to be represented by the Star and the Tower. So you could be juggling what you wish to happen, and also I'm kind of getting like your plan for if everything goes wrong. And I always think that having a plan for like, say the worst does happen, what are you gonna do? I think, caught myself, I think that you probably go back and forth between the most optimal outcome and the most disastrous, which I think is fun. I caught myself again. I think that you're the type of person to juggle between extremes. That's something that's really hard to not say. But I think that as far as like, okay, so you're really predictive, and then as far as it's a financial thing, is like kind of like how you organize your life is your living. Your living is the concern for this reading today. I am going to move on to some results. Okay, so we have on one side the Temperance, and then on the other side we have the Lovers. So I think that you will find well, that seems so easy to say, but I think that you will find a balance with the Temperance, and your balance might come with some type of union, which I think is interesting. This balance is, I mean, this union, this, what it seems like, this union is giving me, with Temperance and the Lovers, it's giving me, have you heard of the story of Hermaphroditus? I didn't read like a full length story. I know that it's a alchemy. It could be, it's multiple things. Now it explains the natural occurrence of intersex individuals, as well as the effeminate effeminate or masculine traits onto male or female assigned individuals, respectively, of course. What is the contrast, the appearance of contrast between your bodily form and your behavior. So it does explain effeminate men as well as masculine women. Hermaphroditus does. I also believe hermaphroditus represents the alchemical union of balanced forces, especially when it comes to the soul. I believe it is coined as understanding your anima or your animus, depending on your gender identity, I suppose. I guess the more in the middle of your gender identity, the more aligned you are with your anima or your animus. So this could be a representation of a realization for you, especially when it comes with the Child of Cups and the Nine of Wands. The Child of Cups is giving me very sensitive energy, very in tune, very aligned, very perceptive energy when it comes to your internal world. And the Nine of Wands has to do with like almost a constant state of recovery, with the nine being representing status. So you could be known as an individual, you could be known as a very sensitive individual, always kind of like going through something emotionally, recovering emotionally. This could be like mental illness, or what we consider mental illness, which I consider just an alignment with the identity and the environment. So you could have gone through a lot of social ostracizing. I think that's the word, if I'm using it right, or outcasting. You might have felt rather outcasted. I think that might have to do with your levels of extreme. I think that that's something that's dawning on to me to make a lot of sense, to be forced into an environment that's not rather accepting of you or your holistic self. You can feel like you have to split into two different forms. There's a you that is positive and secretive, maybe, and then there is a you that is public and a little bit catastrophizing. Now, this lover on this, well, with the lovers on one side, and then the adolescent of wands and the moon, this is giving me, I would think, what is really giving me is like something coming out of the blue. All right, just to be predictive, because that's what our goal was today, is to be predictive, to see what we can predict for you. And I do think that you will come across an individual who, if not a romantic partner, knows what you're going through, or knows the feeling of going through that. They might be someone who is sensitive to feel that you feel how they feel, that you're going through feelings that they've gone through, processing things that they've gone through. It seems like you are going to meet someone who you don't have to pretend with. It's like it's almost a little bit like if you probably seen the Goddess Boys. It's kind of giving me a little bit of that, like because one is the black swan and one is the white swan. It's very much your union allows for um an extreme to exist and a like two extremes to exist. I think that this person is going to be rather internally similar to you, but outwardly like expressively different. I think that they are like if you are on the softer, more positive side, like if you are a little bit more on the star side where you're optimistic and hopeful and can manifest anything, I think that the other person is going to be a little bit more like the Tower card, and they are going to be like a great obstacle eliminator. This is going to be someone who is like cutthroat and like no, this isn't going to like where you would be like, oh, things will get better, they'll be like, no, this isn't happening, this isn't going to happen. I think it's a little bit, it's like, and the Goddess Boys have done a few videos where the one of the white swan will be like, oh, they forgot my fry, like they're at dinner or whatever, oh, they forgot my fries, and the black swan is like already on the waiter's back. You know, it's giving that. It's giving a lot of that. I think that you guys will like after your meeting that you will be able to split these kind of responsibilities. There won't be so much pressure for you. I mean, you could be the opposite. You could be the more cutthroat individual, and you can allow the person coming in or the person that you're approaching. There's someone coming in, and it's going to help balance these aspects of like, am I this or am I this? Should I be more like this or should I be more like this? I think you both are very dualistic. I think that it is explained by the lovers as well as the two cups in Temperance's hand there. Oh, and I think that that has to do a lot with, I mean, it's really emphasized with you being a juggler. Now, I would say that both of you are both black and white, but I think that you guys will, it will be a type of union in which you can designate some behaviors or tasks or reactions to each other. That way you can clear off a little bit off of your plate, which I think is a really fun type of union. I don't think I see that a lot. I mean, I think there is a like almost unsaid way to do this in coupling where one is the more like one the like masculine feminine. I don't think that it's going to be like a masculine feminine. I really do think that it's going to be like an optimistic pessimistic or optimistic realistic type of thing. This is like rose colored glasses and like the nitty gritty, this is like very flowery and also very like stone cold, like this, like you're like depending on which one you are, you're going to add the balance to the other person. So I'm going to pull some more cards here. I want to get a little bit more confirmation on or insight on the lover or the who's represented as a lover. Now, this could be a friend or a family member, a coworker maybe, someone who wants to work with you. I mean, this Snowfell Temple is a temple of Aphrodite, so it could very much well be a romantic relationship. And put these two down and I'll start telling you what I got here. So for for the individual that's coming towards you, they're coming towards you because it kind of is all out of like left field. I see that they're going to be someone who is a little bit more on the pessimistic side. They are going to be a little bit on the yeah, they are going to be a little bit on the pessimistic side. They might have gone with, they focus a lot on grief, on loss, on things like that, so they aren't rather optimistic. We also do have the star showing up again, so I do think that you do have, like they do have that like optimism in them, but it's like not, they don't allow it to happen, or it's not comfortable for them to talk about that. And I think, well, maybe it would be relieving for them to have someone else to talk about that. That's what I'm getting here. And then we also have the six of pentacles. So I think that this is going to be an individual who wants to like maybe give to star energy, returned to that type of like, I think that this would give a lot of like a space to feel this comfortably. So this is like, for the person that's coming in, they're going to see you as like a person to share their dreams with, their ideals with. They also are going to be represented here by the Hierophant, as well as the Queen of Cups, or the Adult of Cups, I mean. And that's giving me like highly loyal energy. This is someone who, I think it's really interesting to look at what's going on with the person that's coming in to your space, because like they got the star and the Hierophant, and it seemed like on your side is also the star and Hierophant. Well, I would say like if you're juggling between Hierophant energy and the Hangman energy, they're going to be a little bit more towards the Hierophant energy. So they're going to be a little bit more standard, a little bit like normal, a little bit more traditional. They're gonna have a little bit more standard, a little bit more conscientiousness in their personality trait. They're gonna be a little bit like, no, things have to be done like this. They are going to be a little bit like, you forgot my fries. They are a little bit like, no, that's not how that works. And I think this is really interesting too, that they could be taking on the star energy as well. So like this is like I think this is really interesting, and you'll definitely have to let me know after this union shows up. But I'm wondering how you guys split these traits, because what I'm getting is that they're actually going to be rather optimistic, this person coming towards you. But they're not going to seem like that, and you're going to be rather catastrophizing, and you're not going to seem like that. And I think the same way, like with the Hierophant, I think that they're going to be more Hierophant energy, but they're not going to seem like that. They're going to seem a little bit like the star energy, a little bit more free-spirited, and you are going to be seeing, oh, not the star energy. Oh, well, yeah, the star energy, I would say that you're going to seem like the one who has standards and the free spirit, but they're going to have the standards and they're going to be the free spirit. They're going to seem like the one who is like odd, like with a new perspective and a little bit catastrophist, but you are like that. They're also going to bring this air of like agreeability with the Adult of Cups, which is very reading as like we should all get along. Like this, I feel like this is the energy. Like kind of seem like they kind of seem like everyone needs to get along, and you might feel like I'm detached from everybody. That's the energy I'm getting here. That's the energy I'm getting here. That's the energy I'm getting here. And they're going to be a lot like everyone needs to get along, and I'm going to do everything I can to make sure everyone gets along, and you're going to be a little bit like it's like the person that's coming into you is giving really golden retriever energy, but you know, tell me if I'm wrong, but don't do golden retrievers bite? I never had a golden retriever. This is who this is a golden retriever that bites, okay? Um oh, I would say that you are giving a little bit of that black cat energy when you're like, no, I'm done with like when you're done with something, you're done with something. And this one is like, no, everyone has to get along. This is the person that's coming in is a little bit like a forced counselor, like relationship counselor. They're like the hyperbolized version of that. They are very demanding. Like, no, we're gonna sit down, we're gonna work this out, we're gonna talk it through, and we're not gonna leave this room until everything's settled. While you would naturally be like, okay, well, that's not happening, so I'm just gonna move on. And I think that when you guys meet each other or start working with each other, that energy is going to be emphasized. And I think that this would be kind of nice because I think that normally you wouldn't do this. Normally you wouldn't fight so hard for your relationships, but now you kind of have an excuse because the golden retriever individual is just not going to let you not do it. They're not going to let you not do it. I think I think that's very interesting. With the Five of Cups, though, I think where it's so interesting because where they are the star, and I would imagine that's very optimistic energy, they're also the Five of Cups energy, which is also very pessimistic energy. And I think that while you're a tower type of energy, you're coming off as the Two of Cups type of energy. Like, oh, like you are giving a little bit like, okay, well, like that dog meme where he's sitting in the rest or a building and it's on fire and he's just like that this is fine. That seems a lot like you, which I think a lot of people would say, oh well, they're so optimistic that they're, they're not they think that it's fine to be in a burning building or whatever. And I think it really has to do with like, well, there's nothing I can't put out the fire in a building, and I was cold anyway. It's an interesting type of like optimism. It's an interesting type of optimism because I think that the person coming in is going to be the rational individual. Um, yeah, it's very interesting. Like they're rational and like kind of strict, but like super optimistic. Like family could be a big thing for them. Commitments are like a big thing for them. They could have a tight friend group where they get along really well with their coworkers and they have to. Like they wouldn't work in a place in which they didn't work well with most, if not all, of their coworkers. Um, oh, and it does seem like you would rather work alone. Uh, I do think that I do think that there's something missing in these approaches. I think that the individual that's coming towards you who is demanding that everyone show as much loyalty as they want to feels a little bit of like emptiness of having to always do that. And then you have a little bit of emptiness with like never seeing a relationship worth fighting for. I think there's something there. I think there's something there with that. Um, this is very interesting. I would say that you guys are a very interesting. I'm just gonna say couple because again, you could do like a work thing, best friend thing. You could be a best friend that you work with, the best friend that you work with, and it turns into like a romantic relationship or something like that. I think that, but this is just someone who is the opposite of you and and completes you. Like you both have these. Like I do think that especially because of the Hierophant and the Star coming out to clarify this new person coming in already being two aspects that you balance. What's on the bottom of the deck here? Oh, and we have the World here at the bottom of the deck. So yeah, I do think that this is like a form of completion. Now, as far as like it pertaining to the Ace of Pentacles, I think that, yeah, I think I've already said it. I think this is going to help organize how you guys interact with the rest of the world. I think that this is going to be heavy on like relationships. I think that while this person can inspire you to fight for your relationships, you could inspire this person to let things go and to kind of like go on with the flow. I really do think like this is someone, like the person that's coming towards you is someone who does not stop and smell the roses. Because they're just so focused. I mean, and you know what? It's so funny. They don't stop and smell the roses because they're so focused on all the things that they want to happen and they believe that can happen. And you stop and smell the roses because you're like, at any moment now, I could just keel over. I could get hit by a truck, so I might as well just stop and smell these roses. Like that's the energy you guys are giving, and I think that it's really a really fun balance because I feel like if I was going to like do a character design or concept, if I was going to write a story or something like that, I would my urge would be to make the more traditional individual the more pessimistic individual, and to make the more eccentric or an orthodox thinking type of individual a little bit more of the uh, like optimistic, but it's turned out to be opposite. The person that's coming towards you is traditional and optimistic, so they can have like, if this is romantic, they can have big ideas about family life, white picket fence, the car, the dog, all that. They could be a lot like that. um i I think that you are rather the opposite of that, and you might have ideas of like living on your own for a long period of time, if not for the entirety of your life. I think that you're also someone who is going to um, live a life that is different than everybody else's. And again, in that sense of like, you only live once, so why would I live a life that everyone else is kind of living type of energy. I think that the combination of the two of you is going to be exceptionally interesting when it comes to like those long-term goals. I think that would be an interesting exercise into compromise between the two of you. I think that this is interesting. Do we want to know how this is going to happen? I mean, if you are this black cat energy, I think that you don't really care when this is gonna happen. It's like it'll happen if it happens. And again, I think that you're also gonna be a little like when it comes to things that haven't happened yet, you're going to be a little bit back and forth, like imagining the best case scenario, but also imagining the worst case scenario. I think that you're not really gonna take it too seriously if I tell you like how or when. So I think I'm going to just avoid that. But I think that is about everything. It's very interesting. It's big life. Like this is a big life change. Like you guys are gonna meet each other and it's gonna be a big life change. I mean, I think it has to do a lot with the personality traits. I think the person coming in is going to be so, like, already so loyal to you that they're not going to give up a relationship without a fight. So they're going to be, as soon as you meet them, they're going to be rather stuck to you. And I think that with your interesting type of perspective, that you are going to like you're going to be kind of like accepting of like the new, like you're definitely not a stickler about what you believe. Like you believe that some relationships aren't worth fighting for, but you also believe that um miracles can happen, kind of thing. You're a little bit like, well, let's try something new. I mean, you're a little bit like, what's the worst that could happen, and what else am I doing? You're a little bit like, I have time, I guess, to see how this works. You're a little bit like, okay, well, maybe I'll learn something. Maybe I'll learn something new. Maybe I'll gain some information from trying it out this person's way. Yeah, I think that's about it for this reading. I think that this is going to be. I think it's going to be interesting. Yeah, someone's just going to come out of the woodwork. I think with the moon card there is really going to be a little bit like, you never know when it's going to happen. And I think that as a black cat energy, you kind of like that. Like around the corner anytime. It's a little bit entertaining to you. It's like being in like a hide and seek video game. Like, are they gonna catch me? And I think it's kind of funny for you to have that perspective when it comes to like a good relationship or a good partnership, and you're like, are they gonna get me? um, it's a little bit like, oh my gosh, you found me, kind of thing. Like, I think that's kind of it's just really very interesting how you guys do positive and negative energy. You both have positive and negative energy, and you just do it in a different way. In a different way than I think is expected from people in general, but like the combination of you two doing this is going to be exceptionally interesting. Like I can definitely see the person coming in yelling at people that they love them, and you are a little bit like, haha, I don't really like you at all. There's a very like I don't know, if it's male, female, non-binary, however resonates for you, whatever would be a good partner match for you. But I see this other person being like very stern faced, like I love you, and then you're over here smiling from ear to ear and be like, I don't like you at all. And I think that that's so. Oh man, when you guys get together, please give me an update about it. I think it would be super fun to do a comic book based off that relationship. So if you want to leave some if you want to leave some references in the in the comment section. That'd be so cool. That would be super, super cool. You don't have to, of course. I mean, your life is your life, especially if it's romantic or whatever. You don't have to tell me everything. I can make stuff up. I have an imagination. But I thank you for this inspiration. I think it was really great. I'm going to end it here. So I hope that you enjoyed your visit at the temple this morning, day, afternoon, evening, or night. If you didn't enjoy your visit, that's totally your choice, and I completely respect it. I hope that you have a wonderful morning, day, afternoon, evening, or night. If you do not wish to have a wonderful morning, day, afternoon, evening, or night, then that is totally your choice, and I completely respect it. Okay, guys, until next time, I'll see you.